right, you ready, Spaghetti? All right, don't fuck up and don't fuck yourself. 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 Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School Podcast. I'm your invigorated host, John Hauser III. And with me to talk about some food news, surrounded by Trump steaks, is...
They're the greatest steaks, the world's greatest steaks. My name is Evan Blair.
How good these steaks are. I don't do a good Trump. I got to be in a certain spot to do a Trump. So, any news to talk about? Oh God, what's going on with you? Holy shit! A
laser pointer. Gosh, I don't know. Nothing going on in the last 2 hours
not
at all.
Sitting president.
Nothing to
brought
report.
Up on felony charges, convicted. Not a thing.
34
Good
counts,
grief.
baby. Herschel Walker.
Yeah, who, by the way, apparently has like almost $5 million in his account and isn't giving any of it to the RNC, and they're really mad about it because he's just sitting on it. He won't give it to anybody.
He needs it for his legal fees.
CTE.
Oh,
yeah, is that what you said?
It is what I said. I thought you were talking about Donald Trump. I'm like, what?
So, regardless of what's going on in the world, I'm sure I'm going to get like a fucking 1-star rating now or a 0-star rating or whatever the fuck for just opening like that. Have you been cooking this week? Have you been doing anything? You were telling me about something earlier. What was it?
Well, it was Memorial Day weekend. It was a long, extended.
Oh, right. You and I have to talk about a baseball game.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me get to the cooking issue. There's a part because we started getting a little service called Hungry Root, which is like it's like a meal in a box thing, except that it's just an online grocery store, and you tell them your food preferences, and they will pre-populate like a cart for you. But if you want to just go freeform and pick from literally hundreds of recipes that they have, they send you the individual components, and there's like a tiny little postcard of here's a recipe, put it all together. I like this one because it is not here's 21 meals you can select from this week. It's like we're giving you credits, and each of these things is worth a different amount of credits. So if you wanted to go filet mignon with XYZ, that's going to be like 20 credits. But if you just want to do nothing but Slim Jims, they're 1 credit each. You can get 56 Slim Jims in a box. And
you should get a lot of toilet paper
and you
with
can
those Slim Jims.
Right. And you can bank the credits for, consecutive weeks if you go out of town. Yeah, so this past week, for instance, last night, we had it was a Thai coconut tofu dish, and it was spicy. I was shocked at how spicy it was.
Did they give you bird chilies?
No. The tofu chunks were pre-seasoned. So we just heated them up. And basically most of this stuff, you just kind of heat it up and eat it. Except we do have one pork dish that's waiting where they give you it was like a 1 pound tenderloin. So I have to do something with that. And the recipe they give you is like, here's some blackening season. So blacken it and then serve it with snap peas and rainbow carrots. They're really big on the power mixes and very colorful vegetable medleys, which I like.
Me too.
But yeah, the one salad mix had cut up Brussels sprouts in it, kale, all kinds of good,
nice,
hearty vegetables that when you eat them in a stir fry, it'll fill you up more than just broccoli or something. But yeah, check it out. I recommend it. hungryroot.com.
Not a sponsor, by the way.
If you do take their quiz and you get to the point where they want you to pay, immediately abandon, because then they'll send you an email saying, "Oh, do you want to see what was going to be in your cart and take an additional 40% off?"
Yeah.
What
is it? The farmer's dog? I did the same thing. I was like, "Oh, well, I'll see what this food's about for Olive," and they give you a goddamn quiz that's 8 pages long, and I was like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out, and just bounced.
What kind of food does
30
your
minutes
dog
later
like?
it's like, you want to come back? 40% off first thing. And I was like, no, I'm still not doing it.
All right.
It's like a lot of money per day per dog.
The individual, like the snacks and the breakfast stuff is really lame. It's
I wouldn't get snacks.
Here's some pepperoni and some cheese for $5. I'm like, nah.
Although I do love me some just straight up pepperoni and cheese on a plate with some mustard.
Yeah, but if you that's something you can just go out to the local giant and get that and do that at home. And and it comes to you in one of those little Lunchables containers, and you're like, this is plastic. I don't need this bullshit. And the breakfast stuff is like sous vide egg bites.
Oh, right.
They can't just send you raw eggs. So I don't really recommend it for that, but for lunch and dinner, sure.
Do you have a sous vide machine? Okay.
No.
I got to talk to somebody about sous vide egg bites because my wife wanted them and I did them in the oven and she was like, these are garbage. To be fair, I overcooked them. The egg bites,
I was going to say the egg bites, if you do them in the oven, can get really dried out.
I was fine with them. I was like, these taste great to me. They're just a little overcooked, which she just doesn't like. And I was like,
I did some broccoli cheddar egg bites and I enjoyed them, but I got sick of them real quick.
I've been doing a thing where I just went and bought a dozen eggs and took them to work. And I have one of those big, mugs with a handle, like, the big kind of like the beginning of So I Married an Axe Murderer mug, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, I ordered a large God, I love cappuccino.
And so hard not to do the woman thing. And I just put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the, wipe it around the bottom, a little bit on the sides, crack an egg, like a teaspoon of water, beat the shit out of it, microwave it 1 minute, add a little salt, pepper, and done. Like it's a perfect microwaved egg. It's been steamed a little bit. It's still like perfectly cooked. It's great.
How come it doesn't explode though?
I whipped the egg.
They
only explode if you do them in the shell or yolky. Like they'll just if you just do like I said, just in one of those mugs, or you could just do it in a bowl. Just add a little water to it and beat them up pretty good. Don't add any salt until they're done. Because if you like the thing with scrambled eggs, if you add salt to them, you got to wait at least 15 minutes. So it's kind of a pain in the ass.
You know what the original sous vide egg bite was? It was that made for TV product where like you would put an egg in it and then shake it up and then put it in the microwave.
No.
You don't remember that? It was like a little egg-shaped thing that you would dump an egg into, shake it so that it would beat the egg, and then you put it in the microwave and zap it, and it would not explode, and it would give you this perfect little egg-shaped egg. You can make really sort of proper, quick
scrambled eggs in the microwave. It's really easy to do. The key with the like little bowl thing is just like add a little drip of oil and then with your fingers just kind of move it around so the egg doesn't stick to the inside of the bowl. So it fluffs up.
Yeah.
And then it'll deflate, but it's a really good quick work egg. I recommend.
Did you ever microwave gummy bears when you were young?
No, I microwave CDs though. Have you ever watched that? It's like watching lightning. Bad.
Yeah. Yes,
I did show the kids at Crosby and his friend we were at his friend's house, and I showed them what happens when you microwave a peep, and they thought that was the fucking coolest.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with gummy bears?
Well, gummy bears, like, they melt, so you can make little, like, gummy bear. You can remold
shit,
them
really?
Into,
they don't like get real fucking wonky? Or you just got to be careful?
Well, yeah. What do you mean?
Like,
wonky?
like if you microwave something a little bit too much, it becomes instantly brick hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't do it for too long. You just want to get them melted a little bit so that you can like form them into other shapes. Anyway, that's my hot tip.
Gummy bears
my friend, microwave.
Speaking of gummy stuff, my friend JJ and Liz, my friends, are back in town from England for a couple days. And we met up with them day before Labor Day, and he brought just tons of candy and lots of gummy shit because the English loves some fucking gummies, like all that Haribo stuff. And then they had these like, they were like Laffy Taffy, but it tasted good. And one of the things that everybody was obsessed with was the cola flavor ones. And it was weird because it, like, you've had the like Haribo cola bottles, right? Yeah.
Love them.
Kind of like that, but more limey. Because, you know, lime's in cola. It's kind of a big flavor of cola. And everyone's like, why is this so good? And I was like, it's pumped up lime. And they're like, lime's not in cola. I'm like, trust me, lime's in cola. But like the kids who don't like that kind of artificial flavor were going bananas. Like, I got to get them now. And my friend Jeff, there's a place apparently in White Marsh that is like an international market, but they have a gigantor English section. And he was taking pictures of it. And all the shit that JJ brought, they had there. All the candies, all the cookies. Have you ever had the digestive cookies? They're very weedy. You know, they're like a lot of there's oats.
They're made of velour.
No, they're like oaty cookies. They're very thin, but then on one side they're just dipped in the slightest lacquer of dark chocolate. They're fucking awesome. They're really good cookies. Good with tea and, you know, that kind of thing. But I love them. But they had those, and then of course, to be a dick, he got me a sleeve of what were they? Ginger balls. Because of course, I'm a ginger. Fiery ginger balls is what they were called. So,
that is you.
He's like, "Can I eat your fiery ginger balls?" And I was like,
"Some things that happened at the bar last week would attest."
I almost got into a fight with Evan. We're not gonna.
I almost got into a fight with you.
Me and Evan almost got into a fight with some guy. Like, it's fine. Guy's being a dick. Hey, stop bumping into me. I'm not bumping into you. What are you talking about? Somebody's bumping into me. Well, it's not me. And you're fucking in the middle of the room. And this bar.
We're in a bar that is literally 10 feet wide.
If that. I mean, from wall to bar, it's 6, 5. Anyway.
Oh, from bar to the door? Yeah, it was less than 6 feet. It's tiny. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I would like to talk about an event that happened over the weekend at Rash Field in downtown Baltimore.
Hey, by the way, before you start, happy 500th episode.
Thanks.
I'm really happy for you guys.
We had a fun time. We had a good guest, a very lengthy interview with a guy who's opening a museum.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. I had a lot of fun listening to it. I like how after 500 episodes, you finally were like, you don't know how to use a microphone. God damn it. He's like, no, it's not me. And you're like, no, you just don't know how to what did you say? I don't know. You don't know how to technology. Is that what it was? It was something. It's really funny. But congratulations. It's not for nothing. Like, for a person who's in this is episode 329. Dude, 500 plus the other episodes that you've done that are side projects.
Yeah, it's definitely over 600.
You got to be closing in on 7.
Not quite. I mean, it's over 600, but it's not near 700 yet. But yeah, I mean, like, all of the secondary shows and bonus episodes and recordings we did about
Quantum Leap. I was going to say the Quantum Leap episodes.
There's like 20 such of them. It's over 600 at least.
Congratulations. It's a big account. Like, as a person who does a podcast who doesn't do it for like, I need to make tons of money or I need to make money, period. Like, there's a love of the game, and that's really cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's kind of all we do. And I even on the episode was like, yeah, somebody gave us some money on Venmo. I'm just going to give it to this guy because he's trying to open a museum.
That was cool. So listen to the CTP show, episode 500. It is really good.
Yeah.
So please. Go ahead about your Baltimore City trip.
Yeah. So one of the things we did on Saturday, after we recorded the interview was we went down to Rash Field for a thing called Taste of Asia, which is being put on by, I think, the head chef or the manager or something at Watersong. And he got like a good between 15 and 20 Asian food vendors from Baltimore, DC, New York.
Oh, that's cool.
I ate some stuff I had never had before. Egg omelet based that comes in a steam sleeve filled with pork. It was good. Almost everything was deep fried. I ate lumpia. I ate cold noodles. We had some very good stuff, and it was really fun, and it was free to show up. And he's going to do it, I think, the last Saturday of every month for.
That's cool. And it was at Rash Field? Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
For those who are listening, Rash Field is, if you've ever seen the Baltimore Inner Harbor, it's on the side of the Inner Harbor right next to the Baltimore Science Center. It's just a big field.
And then immediately after that, we walked a little further toward the, say, visitor center in the Inner Harbor, and they were running a wine village, which they've been doing for the past month. And it was packed.
That's great.
And I was like, wow, people are out doing things, even though it's Memorial Day weekend.
And even though nobody goes to Baltimore because you're going to get shot.
Right. It's not safe. But it's true that most people do leave. If you live in the city, you go to either Ocean City or somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
Memorial Day
my neighborhood sort of turns into ghost town for that weekend.
Yeah. And then went to a baseball game on Memorial Day. Nearly 41,000 people in attendance. It was like a record-breaking attendance day for Camden Yards. And it was a bad day for me to get
Bad day for me to get anything. I mean, I didn't get... So the whole reason... We didn't have that game in our season tickets. We switched tickets to get that game so we could get... Because it was a giveaway.
To get the shirts.
My son wanted a ketchup shirt. My wife and I wanted mustard shirts. We got there and there were no fucking shirts, and we got there like an hour early, which is pretty early for us.
We got all three.
My mother got there an hour and a half early and still didn't get tickets. I mean, shirt, but I think it was where she came in at, because other people were saying, well, I came in this entrance and they were fine. But the problem is, once you come in, if you go to another entrance, they're not going to give you a shirt. They just think you're just trying to game the system and get
another shirt.
So we didn't realize until we came in. I was like, oh shit, they're supposed to give us a shirt. There's no boxes, there's nobody giving anything out. And I saw a guy when I walked in. I was like, excuse me, sir, like, isn't this like a shirt giveaway thing? And he's like, it's not anymore. Bye. And I was like, oh my God, dude, what? Fuck you. Like,
and then you got into a fight with that guy.
Mad. Like, Leanna was like, just walk away. Because I was like, I'm going to fuck this guy up. I wasn't going to fuck that guy up. But I was really mad because, like, I was just trying to be nice. And I'm sure he had a shit time with a lot of people yelling at him, like, where's my shirt? I just wanted to know if I'd gotten the day wrong or something. But, yeah, no shirt. And then, it was packed. And it was full of Red Sox fans who were unequivocally the worst baseball fans in all of baseball since they won that first World Series in 2004. They were good fans and that traveled well and were cool. And then once they won, for 20 years now, they've been the absolute most insufferable fucking fans. So sitting around them sucked because it wasn't our normal seats. It was close, but it wasn't the normal seats. Anyway, my son and my wife were like, oh, we're going to go get food. And I was like, cool. I'm not really hungry, but I'll just eat some of these peanuts that we brought in. And then my wife was like, we're going to go get one of those fuzzy burgers. Hell yeah. And I was like, yeah, dude, share it with Crosby because that seems like something he would love. So then they leave and they're gone forever. The Orioles scored 8 fucking runs when they were gone or whatever it was. And by the time they came back with a tray that had waffle fries and beyond, or what is it? Not Beyond. What's the other vegetarian? Impossible wings or Impossible nuggets. And I was like, what happened? And she was like, one, the burger place was like 100 people deep. Wasn't even going to try that. We want to go to the 410 section So there's a place called Section 410. It's right before you get to the Statue Garden. And everything that they serve there is $4.10. So you get like a regular hot dog, not one of those big, thick, gross motherfuckers. You get a regular hot dog, $4.10, bottle of water, whatever they sell, it's $4.10. They went there. They were out of everything. My son wanted a water, and they were like, well, we can give you the display water. So you got a warm water. And then they were walking up, and then they saw the chicken sandwich place. They're like, well, let's get a chicken sandwich. Not that many people. Because they saw them putting plates of food in the window. And as they get closer, my wife's like, they're just putting plates of fries up. They don't have any, like...
That's probably all they had left.
But then they started putting plates of nuggets up. And when they got up there, my wife was like, what is this? And they're like, oh, we don't know. I think it's Impossible Nuggets. And she was like, what about chicken sandwiches? And they're like, we don't have any patties. We don't have any. That's all out. She's like, you don't have any regular nuggets either? And like, we don't know. We're just, whatever we got, we're just putting out right now. And she was like, okay, well, my 13-year-old son has to eat, so I'll just take this. She's like, by the way, you should fucking tell people like who are waiting for chicken sandwiches that you're out of chicken. So
yeah, so I got in line at Fuzzy's. I don't remember what inning it was, but I also was standing in line when the Orioles got like 18 home runs. I was second in line when the guy just gets up and he's like, we're out of patties. And I was
sucks.
Okay. Yeah, so I just got 2 beers and it was like $32. I'm like, fuck this.
You know what I had for the first time? I had one of those, speaking of beer, I had one of those Gigantor Miller Lights. What the fuck is that? Like, I've been trying to. Leanna's like, why are you drinking shitty beer all the time lately? And I'm like, I'm trying to let go. I'm trying to not like be so much of me all the time that I have to have
pretentious.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, everything doesn't have to be the way I need it to be all the time. So I'm just trying to let go. So I'm like, I'm drinking, like you were like, why are you drinking Pabst? And I was like, I don't mind Pabst, like, fuck it. I'm just going to drink it. It's cheap. I like it. Whatever. Fine. But she's like, why are you drinking a Miller Lite? And I'm like, because I don't want to go to 4 fucking places trying to find the perfect beer with a million people in front of me. Right. It's fine. But then I got the beer she gave me. I didn't realize wasn't like a 16 ounce. What is that? A 22? Or
I think it's 24.
Yeah. It was huge. I was like, fuck, this is great. Like, I'm not gonna have to go back for like 3 innings.
20 minutes.
Great. It was just interesting. But yeah, so Evan and I were texting because he's like, where are you? I was like, I'm here. He's like, I'm in. Oh, you were in section 69. Nice.
69, baby.
And then we were just texting back and forth like, oh, don't go here, the food's out. And he's like, I'm already in line, it's fine. And then got up there and he's like, they just fucking called it. God damn it. I was like, oh no. And he's like, fuck this, I'm leaving.
I was going to say the silver lining is we left and then we went and got cheesesteaks.
At McGurk's, is that what we said? Are they that good? Yeah. I've had them before, but I don't remember them being
pretty fucking
like
good.
Amazing.
It's mostly about their bread, but like they also mince up that cheesesteak meat just pretty much perfectly.
I did a cheesesteak thing for the Baltimore Sun, and I had to go there because it was like that place, and then was it Gill's, and
yep.
There was a old place in Pigtown that I actually grew up. I think it was called Schmitty's. I think they're still there on Washington Boulevard. I love a good cheesesteak. It's fucking crazy.
But it can't be understated how important the bread is.
Like, is it tough or is it like super soft?
No, it's toughish. It's gotta be. It's gotta have that bite to it.
It has to have a little bit of tug. Yeah, because otherwise it just turns into
a little
soup.
Crusty.
Yeah.
Yep.
You make that mistake once, fucking making cheesesteaks, and then it just disintegrates in your hand. Yeah. I want to talk about so the day after 2 days before the Oriole game, on Saturday, I was hankering for grilled chicken, like really, really bad. So woke up early, went
grilled chicken on the grill, grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken on the grilled chicken. Woke up early, went and bought 8 zillion pieces of chicken thighs from BJ's, which I still have for like $14. I got 16, 18 pieces of chicken, something like that. Is a lot, man. And they come in these pouches, and each pouch has like 3 to 4 chicken thighs in it. So it was like a lot. So I only did 3 of the pouches instead of the 6, or is it 8? So I did 4 of the pouches. Just just put them in a spice blend with some salt, let them sit for like 6 or 7 hours, and then put them on the grill over indirect heat, low, like at like 300, and just let them go so it dries out the skin. Because I tried to pat them as much as I could because the salt brings all the stuff out, and then it dries out the skin, but then the skin crisps, and then you finish it on the fire, skin side down and crisp it up. Did that, but then I love just taking whole tomatoes, coring out the top, getting rid of the green and the hard part at the top, and then just filling that with, just normal Italian, vodka. Italian herbs and some salt and some olive oil, and then just putting. I have like just aluminum pan. Put them in there, and then just let them fucking go next to the heat, and then just keep turning that, so each side just keeps getting heat, and then they just kind of collapse in on themselves, but they hold their shape, and they're so fucking good. They're just like the perfect side to grilled meat because it's kind of like a sauce, but it's real, tomatoey, and it's got a good texture. And then a bean salad that I was making for this party I was going to in honor of Liz and JJ the next day. So I made like is onions and fucking 3 different kinds of beans, and then green beans and olives and parsley and basil and all this stuff. Tomatoes. The tomatoes and the basil I didn't add until the next day, the day of. But the night that I made it, just chopped up a little bit and threw in our bowls. And it was a great dinner. Next day, take the bean salad to the party. Nobody eats the bean salad. I mean, that's not true. A lot of people ate the bean salad. I made the bean salad for 50 people. There was only maybe 15 people there. And they all had like a quarter of a cup of bean salad. So we went home with a lot of bean salad, and we ate a lot of bean salad for 2 days. And then I was just like, I can't eat any more of this cold ass bean salad. Cause once the tomatoes get cold in the fridge, they get a different texture, they get a different taste. It's very annoying. So I decided to be brilliant, and I cooked the bean salad, added a couple more spices to it, chopped up the leftover grilled chicken, and had chili, and it was fucking awesome. It was so good. Leanna was like, "Oh my God, this is fucking brilliant." And I was like, "It's all the stuff that's in chili except for the olives. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it was good Kalamata olives.
Except for the olives? Oh, and the bean salad. Oh my God. I was about to shit my pants. What do you mean? You put olives in your chili?
No, I don't. But it was in the bean salad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it wasn't bad. Like, Kalamata olives are delicious. Yeah. They're just flavor bombs.
Yeah, once it's blended all in with all that other stuff, it's...
You're not a Kalamata olive fan? There's a difference between shitty black canned olives and Kalamata olives. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand that.
But it actually worked out really well. I just took some, like I got like a normal bean, like just off the top of my head, I was just like, all right, some chili powder, some onion powder, some garlic powder, little paprika, some oregano,
some Scott Tinderman's parents,
whoever that guy is, and then and then just a little bit of extra water, and then just let it fucking go, and it was really good. Yeah, everybody enjoyed it. We had it the next day for lunch. We all went to work and school happy. Good times.
I think I'm going to try to make an impossible chili.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm going to have to add some kind of oil or like a fat to it because it's going to get dry.
The thing I was going to tell you is you need to really sort of put the spurs to it to crisp it up before you put it in the liquid, because it the meat kind of gets gooey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's I've done it.
Nobody likes a gooey meat.
The first time I did it, I was like, oh, I don't like the texture of the meat. And then the second time I kind of really crisped it up, and then once the crispy parts soaked up some of the water and stock and stuff, it was fine. But you really got to kind of put the spurs to it.
Spurs will be taken.
Sweet. Okay, one last thing before we get into a couple food news things. We said goodbye to Liz and JJ. This is a Liz and JJ episode. Last night he wanted to meet at Crabtown, USA. I said, hell yeah, let's go. Right as we were getting on to 895, where once you get on, you can't get off until you're on the other side of the tunnel of Interstate I-895. My friend goes, fuck, they're closed on Wednesdays. I said, fuck, god damn it. Like, we were on the on-ramp. There was no way of getting out, right? It's like, shit. So I text JJ. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I didn't check. I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's fine.
So we went to Bonefish Grill.
I put out a couple places, but he did not want to go there because he wanted crabs. Okay, fine. He goes, how about the Anne Arundel Seafood Company? And I said, I have never been there. It's just called Anne Arundel Seafood, by the way. Anne Arundel Seafood. I
can picture it.
I've never been there.
Mind.
It's on Mountain Road. So I knew where it was. So we go, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? We walk in. It's a Wednesday night, so not a lot of people. And it's confusing. There's dining rooms, and then there's a room that looks like a sub shop, and then there's a big open room where there's a dining room / raw bar / get your beer here / order at the bar / order the steam stuff. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, I literally kind of shut down. And they're like, okay, all the fried stuff you order in that room. All of the steam stuff you order in this room. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we at? What is this fucking place? So I sit down and I was like, Leanna, I just need a beer. Can we get a beer first, and then I'll calm down and we'll order. She's like, fuck that. I know what I want. You want some shrimp? We'll get some snow crab on this side, and then Crosby and I go on the other side. We'll get some fucking calamari and some wings. I'm like, all right, that sounds fine. She grabs some beers. Dude, really fucking good food. Yeah. Oh. Their wings, to be fair, their wings were not good. But the calamari was awesome. It was like coated in like almost fried chicken like dredge. Their steamed shrimp were amazing. They're perfectly cooked. They're giant. You can get like mediums, larges, or jumbos. We just got the larges and they were great.
You got to imagine a place like that has been doing it for like 70 years.
But I've never seen the place before. That's what's weird. They've had to have been there for a while. But you know, as we're driving up, I'm like researching it. I'm like, look, what's the star rating on this fucking place? And I was like, oh well, you know, it's like 4.4 out of 5, couple thousand reviews. That's not bad. But yeah, everybody got. Liz's dad got and I've never seen one of these, but he's like, oh yeah, they're all over Baltimore. I've never seen one. It was a fried shrimp sub. Dude, it was nothing. It was a foot long. It looked like a foot and a half long. It looked like, and it was just filled with fried shrimp.
That's it.
No, that was it.
Usually the ones that I've
never seen it in my life.
They have like tartar sauce and lettuce.
There might have been, but it was, dude. It was super packed with just fucking giant fried shrimp. And I was like, that looks like a lot to eat. And I turned away and talked to JJ for a second. I turned back and the whole fucking sub was gone. I was like, Jesus. But he was like, yeah, I get one of those like once a year. That was really good. I was like, oh shit, now I got to get one of those. That looks good. So I think for my birthday in a couple weeks,
Anne Arundel
we're going to
seafood,
go
baby.
there first and then to Crabtown afterwards, because Crabtown's food is not the best.
Yeah, but they got all that pinball.
I love playing some Spy Hunter. You know what I'm saying? I might be
Hell
giving
yeah.
you a call like, hey, want to meet at Crabtown?
What date are we talking?
It'd be in, let's say, 2 weeks.
Because that is also when my
When
birthday
is your birthday? Okay,
13th.
well then we're talking the 15th because mine's the 11th. Or it'd be the 8th or the 15th.
Wow.
Who knew? We're Gemini brothers.
I might be in for it. I might be down
dude.
for a
that
joint
would be pretty
birthday.
fun. Hell yeah. But yeah, so like I was joking with Crosby this morning. I was like, maybe we should go to that place first. And then, because dude, I got a pound of snow crab legs and he ate 2 pounds. I was like, how's that even possible? I ate 1, he ate 4. He was just fucking housing them. And he ate
I swear to God, I could eat like 18
I'm
clusters of snow crab.
He ate most of my crab legs, a lot of shrimp, a thing of fries, a whole hamburger, and then couple wings, and then some, and 2, count them. I was like, Leanna, why did you buy him 2 ice creams at the end of the night?
It's not his birthday.
Jesus. But it was good. Good night. That place was fun. I can't wait to go back. Let's get into some food news. Nice.
Drumsticks.
Okay, so this is gonna be a bummer episode. Just letting you guys know. A botulism outbreak over improperly stored mayonnaise killed 1 person and sickened 75. A recent botulism outbreak in Saudi Arabia has raised alarms for foodborne illnesses after 1 person died and 75 got sick from the bacteria.
They eat a lot of mayonnaise.
I don't
in
think
Saudi
so,
Arabia?
and I think that's why this happened. The cause of the outbreak was the restaurant's mayonnaise. The mayo was contaminated with Clostridium botulinum. Clostridium botulinum, a potentially toxic bacteria that can grow in improperly stored food. If the bacteria Clostridium botulinum is familiar to you, it's because it's already in your body. It's the toxin. It might be already in your body. It's the toxin that creates Botox, the medical injectable used to smooth wrinkles and treat other conditions such as hyperhidrosis, and also make people look like they have no emotions.
Yeah, for people who have like super sweaty foreheads, they get
really
injected into their. Yeah, that's
is that what that is? Oh, I was wondering.
Yeah, you sweat
weird.
too much.
So do they put that in people's armpits? Oh,
yes,
God.
they do.
And it just paralyzes
you have
everything,
to get it done.
I guess.
In particular, the sweat glands. But yeah, you've got to get it done
every week
as needed.
That's crazy.
Because there are some people who, television personalities and stuff, when you start pitting out on TV, that's bad. Yeah. So they just get botulism injected in their armpits.
But before you toss out your condiments, know that botulism is rare. There's only about 110 cases reported in the U.S. annually, but it is very serious. Botulism is found naturally in produce and other foods. This bacteria rarely makes people sick, but the problem is when the bacteria spores grow and, quote, make one of the most lethal toxins known, unquote, according to the CDC. The problem is you can't see, smell, or taste it. And severe botulism has been associated with completely normal, even delicious food that contains an unpleasant and invisible surprise. I remember...
That's my that's my porn name.
What? unpleasant, invisible surprise.
And invisible surprise.
I remember a friend when I was in college, and he was like a science major, and he's like, we could pretty much kill most of the people that eat at the, commissary by just mixing a little bit of dirt with like a giant can of corn and just letting it sit for a week and then feeding everybody the corn, and they would never know, and everyone would die.
All that botulism's in the dirt.
And I was like, what? Why would you? What?
Yeah, you can get shit like Legionnaire's disease just by scraping your knee on a sidewalk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Leanna's face almost melted off one time because she was doing yoga on a yoga mat and had a scrape on her face and got MRSA. She was in the hospital for like a week, and literally the side of her face was awful. It was very angry. She was very scared, and it sucked.
Yeah, you'll lose a foot to MRSA easily. And in fact, you'll lose your entire life.
The doctors were like freaking out and just started pumping her full of all of the, antibiotics and shit. And thank God it worked. That was, Christ, 16, 17 years ago. Oof. Yeah, it was pretty really gross. Scary. According to the USDA, even microscopic amounts of the botulism bacteria can cause illness and death. The neurotoxin can affect the body's nervous system once digested, and symptoms typically appear within 12 to 36 hours after eating contaminated foods. Early symptoms can include nausea, vomiting, weakness, and vertigo, followed by neurological symptoms. Oh God, do I have botulism? And in worst cases, death by respiratory failure. According to the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, botulism toxins are, quote, one of the most lethal substance known, and, unquote, and, quote, block nerve functions and can lead to respiratory and muscular paralysis, unquote. So don't get it. But Mayo haters, you're not safe. Many foods, particularly those stored improperly, are at a risk for botulism toxin. Homemade foods that are preserved improperly are at a high risk, or the highest risk. That's where everybody gets it in America, because people don't, can the things at a proper temperature for long enough, or don't wipe the lids, or reuse lids, which is a really big problem.
And if there's any oxygen in that container, that's where your botulism is going to happen. You want botulism? That's how you get botulism.
So this includes foods that are low in acid, sugar, and salt, and are stored in a low oxygen environment.
That's why anytime when I was doing the beef jerky, I had to put a little oxygen scavenger in the bag before I would seal it. Otherwise, A, it would grow mold almost immediately, but B, that's how you get botulism. Although curing the meat prevents most of the botulism.
If you cure it right, yeah. Those homemade pickles your neighbor with unkempt lawn gifted you, don't do it. Though ketchup is considered too acidic to contract botulism, mustard has been a source of deadly botulism.
No.
As has gas station nacho cheese, homemade fermented foods, no shit, improperly stored salsa, baked potatoes, and many more common foods. The best way to prevent botulism is via food safety, which, I mean, yes, because this goes on to say shelf-stable foods like canned goods shouldn't be dented. Well, that's true. They shouldn't be dented where they look like they've sucked themselves in, or bloated like they're about to explode. Jars should be properly sealed and not cracked or damaged. And if they are, don't eat them. Like, seriously, if there's a crack, or like if the can looks like it's about to explode, I would expect you're not going to.
It means it's emitting gas on the inside.
Don't fucking eat it. It's a botulism monster. Don't use product, quote, from the USDA. Words to live by right here. Quote, don't use products that spurt liquid or foam when the container is opened. End quote. Yeah.
Unless it's as intended.
Yeah. Oh God. Food should be kept at safe temperatures at all time. Picnic potato salad, burgers off the grill, keep them out of the danger zone of 40 degrees to 140 degrees, which you're not going to do that all the time, but just don't let shit sit out all day. Like the reason potato salad goes bad is not the mayo. It's the potatoes. The potatoes go bad. Nobody realizes that. Like, even if you do German potato salad, that shit goes bad because the potatoes turn just being
and it's got
just
that
sitting
mustard
around all day, like in the heat. It's gross. So yeah, just use common sense. Use your discretion. Don't get botulism.
And don't get botulism.
And don't get. By the way, hey, this is a word from the Rude Cooking School podcast. Ladies and gentlemen,
hey guys,
don't get botulism.
Don't get botulism.
Oh, there's the new T-shirt. The Rude Cooking School. Don't get botulism. I'm just gonna go through this story real quick because I just thought it was interesting. There's been a new study about peanut allergies and how many, like, it's insane right now that so many people have peanut allergies. On May 28th, the journal NEJM, what is it? The National, nope. Let's see here. Anyway, they published a new study that followed 500 children from infancy to age 12. It showed that compared to having children avoid peanuts altogether, the kids who started on peanuts in infancy and continued to consume them had a 71% reduced rate of peanut allergy in adolescence.
I feel like this is something filed under no shit, Sherlock.
I remember when Crosby was a baby and you're not allowed to give them peanut butter. I think it's like for the first year. And I think that a lot of parents fall into the trap of, well, we just haven't given it to him, so he's probably not going to like it, so fuck it. But I remember on the day that we were allowed to give him legally peanut butter, as prescribed by our doctor, we just start stuffing it in his face, and he was just like, well, he couldn't talk, so he was just like, Mama, Dad, with, like a dog with peanut butter, just, all stuck together, and we filmed it, and it was hilarious and cute.
I don't know if it's in this particular study, but another study I'm familiar with spoke about peanut allergies in like the UK and how they're exploding because of the rise of these middle class parents who are like, I'm afraid of allergies and all the things going wrong with my baby. And so everyone's just kind of inadvertently giving their children debilitating
I mean,
problems.
It's to the point where Crosby's not allowed to take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to school.
Yeah. Or God forbid you eat a peanut on a plane.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is you could fuck somebody up. Like the peanut allergies.
Yeah, if you throw the peanut into their mouth, but it's not like the peanut particles are going to travel through.
But some people are very allergic, like.
Well, I'm sorry, but they don't belong on planes.
Holy shit. Wow. Oof. Evan's diatribe there does not reflect does not reflect the things that I think about or the root.
It's in the podcast charter, John. Okay. I wrote the thing.
Damn it. He did write it. Fuck. All right. I guess we got to go with it. Peanut allergies develop very early in most children between 6 and 12 months of life. If you want to prevent the disease, it needs to be done before the disease develops. Unquote. Gideon Lack, a professor of pediatric allergy at King's College London and an author of the study, shared with CNN. Quote, this biological phenomenon is based on an immunological principle known as the oral tolerance induction. We have known for many decades that young mice...
That's my other porn name.
Tolerance induction? Oh, God.
Oral intolerance.
Oral
induction.
Oral intolerance. Oral tolerance induction. Sounds like
Professor
a terrible
Oral.
alt band from like 1997.
Yeah.
They're up there with the Olivia Tremor Control. We have known for many decades that young mice or other experimental animals who are fed foods such as eggs, milk, or peanuts cannot develop these allergies later. So basically, and they're starting to kind of figure it out with children. They probably got kids in cage and are trying them out.
Yeah, injecting them with peanuts.
So, but with everything else, please talk to your doctor. Like, do not listen to me. I am not the be all end all. I just found this really interesting.
Bullshit. Rub peanuts on your kids' eyes.
Give them peanut butter shampoos. Gross. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, just start singing the song. It's peanut butter jelly time. They'll
like
love
Casey's kids. Apparently every fucking day. You guys brought that up and something in him snapped, by the way. It was really funny because he doesn't really lash out, and he lashed out at the peanut butter jelly time song.
Yeah. He's like, I have to do it every fucking time.
I gotta play the song. It's like, oh, I remember being just that's why I didn't allow certain songs in the house, even if they listened to them at school. Crosby's like, but I want to hear the Friday song by Rebecca Black. And I'm like, nope, you hear it at school and not here. Sorry.
I saw a picture of her on her Instagram. She was dressed as a sexy clown, and I was like, this is weird. I don't like it.
Or did you? All of a sudden, you're like,
I didn't like it.
All right. So, yeah, feed your kids as early as they can. Peanut butter, talk to your doctor, ask your enema specialist, and God be with you.
I know that there is definitely a way to, like, I mean, any allergist will microdose your kid on some peanut, and that's actually how they're starting to cure it, is like the oral tolerance method or whatever. It's like, it's not a
well, what they were
end.
saying basically is the allergy starts at like 6 months, and by a certain point it solidifies. But if you catch it within there and start feeding it actual peanuts, the allergy goes away. I didn't want to read the whole article because it's really boring, but I just thought,
what scares me are the people that are allergic to eggs.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Just like, sure, yeah, it's like, how the fuck do you avoid
Well, you know Jason Mantzoukas, right?
They're in everything.
Yeah. Like, literally, if he gets a little bit of it, he instantly goes into unbelievable anaphylactic shock.
Yeah. Apparently, it has something to do with it's something to do with the way that the chicken is raised. So there are eggs out there in the world that, like, he, in theory, could eat. But, you know, there are also people that are just deathly allergic to things, and there's nothing stopping it.
Yeah, he basically makes his own food as he tours.
I wonder why
he can't eat at restaurants because he can't. He's like, I trust places. He's like, I got some places I trust now because they know me. But some places, you know, the chef isn't telling the servers that there might be egg yolk in the dressing or whatever. And then he's like, there have been times I eat and all of a sudden I wake up fucking 5 hours later in a hospital. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, well, he should be able to just eat sushi.
That's probably what he eats all the time. That's why his hair
for the rest of his life.
His beard is so wild. It's all that. It's no eggs.
Yep, that's right.
Jason Mantzoukas, one of the funniest dudes in the history of funny. Like, yeah,
he's a very funny guy.
In really sad news, did you see this? That Morgan Spulock died.
I did. We did. We mentioned it briefly on our Discord. I was unaware, I guess, until about 2 years. One of our Discord members brought up the fact that on Super Size Me, when he gets his blood work done and they're like, hey, your liver levels are a little effed up, and he made it, wove it into the documentary as if it was the McDonald's food. It turns out he was drinking too
thanks
much.
For spoiling my fucking thing that I was going to read. Yeah. No,
but he, like everybody on the Instagram comments, is like, well, he ate too much fast food, and then other people were like, actually, he was an alcoholic. But no, he had cancer.
But also, I mean, McDonald's and booze, like probably beer together every day. Whoa. Yeah, that's an easy way to gain 20 some pounds.
Yes.
So documentary filmmaker Morgan Spulock, best known as starring in the fast food documentary Super Size Me, died on Thursday at the age of 53. Way too early. In a statement, his family said that Spurlock passed away peacefully, surrounded by his friends and family in New York from complications of cancer. Spurlock made a splash with his 2004 film Super Size Me, his first as a director. So while he was visiting his parents for Thanksgiving in 2002, the West Virginia-born director chanced upon a TV news feature that reported on two women who had sued McDonald's over misinformation about the nutritional value of the Chicago-based chain's food, leading to pronounced weight gain. And the idea of Super Size Me was hatched. Quote, a spokesman from McDonald's came out and said, you can't link their obesity to our food. Our food is healthy. It's nutritious. End quote. Spurlock told the New York Times in a 2004 interview, quote, I thought, if it's so good for me, I should be able to eat it every day, right? End quote. So Super Size Me, which had a budget of only $65,000, grossed an astonishing $22 million at the box office and scored an Oscar nomination for Best Documentary in 2004. So if you're not familiar with it, in the documentary, Spurlock ate only McDonald's food for 30 days and chronicled the impact the diet had on his physical and mental well-being. Beyond that, throughout shooting the film, Spurlock didn't let himself turn down supersize options. So for those who don't know what that is, if you got like, can I get a Big Mac, large fries, and a soda, they would say, would you like to supersize it? So for like,
they did do that. That is very true. And this documentary is the reason that they don't have that anymore.
So they would ask you if you wanted to supersize it. So for like 30 cents more, you would get like double everything. And it would be so much more food, but people wouldn't turn it away because it was such a good deal. But then they just wound up eating all the food instead of just cutting everything in half and taking it home.
I miss those days because now it's like if you were to get a supersized combo, it would be like $50. It's so stupid.
So he didn't let himself turn down the supersize options, which were the largest McDonald's portions if a server offered them. Intersped with clips of fast food consumption were interviews with various healthcare professionals and his physician. By the end of the month-long experiment with McDonald's, Spurlock, who also exercised less over the course of filmmaking in order to mimic an average American's activity level, says that he gained 25 pounds and he claimed that he ended up suffering both depression and liver dysfunction. Much later, in 2017, he admitted to a drinking problem in a statement. Quote,
you know what causes you to gain weight and gives you depression?
Quote, not being sober for more than a week in 30 years, end quote. So that had to do with it as well. But, you know, because there was one part where, what was it? The one guy eats one Big Mac a day.
It was the record holder for eating the most Big Macs.
One Big Mac a day for.
He was very skinny as fuck and like didn't seem to have any mental problems or depression.
Well, he seemed to have
like,
mental.
Probably drank a lot too.
Mental problems, but
yeah, he seemed to be a bit off. But like, I bet that guy boozed it up, or he was super Christian and did not.
So R.I.P. to him. It sucks. He did a lot of other stuff. He directed a bunch of fucking films, you know, documentaries. He did more than 70 documentaries after Super Size Me. And the weirdest thing he directed was he directed the 3D concert film for One Direction, which was called This Is Us in 2013. So weird. But he also did like
he probably made some good money off that.
But like he did a 30 days like a thing about minimum wage and immigrant labor. He had a television series called 30 Days where he would put himself in someone's shoes for 30 days. He did a documentary called Where in the World is Osama bin Laden, about the war in Afghanistan. Like he had,
I remember that. I never saw it.
You know, things he wanted to say, and it was cool. And it sucks that he's dead. So,
yeah, at that age, I have to imagine it's probably like pancreatic or something like that. Or liver disease from all the drinking.
In other news, McDonald's Canada debuts churro and masala fries.
Churro and masala?
Well, churro and masala.
A churro.
Churro fries, masala fries.
Okay. I like a masala fry. I'd eat that.
You're not commenting on the juxtaposition of the two stories, huh?
No. Great. We're moving right along.
Yeah. So they have churros McShaker fries, which are sweet, irresistible blends of sugar, cocoa, and cinnamon colliding with fries.
On fries?
Yeah.
Is there like an Indian community that they're testing this out?
So let's see. Where's this going at? Available? No, it's in Canada. So you got to go.
I know, but they're Indians.
No,
in Canada.
I'm saying like, I guess it's such a big thing in Canada. Like maybe masala, but churros, really? Is there that big of a churro thing up there?
Well, that's what I meant is the masala, not churros. I mean,
okay, so here it is. Available now in McDonald's Canada locations, fans can drive to the global taste of the McShaker fries in a new churro and masala flavor. These fries first made waves in Hong Kong back in 2005. And now they're ready there. So from the 28th, so 2 days ago, until June 3rd, McDonald's app users in Canada have an exclusive first taste of this, and then they'll be available extra. So it looks like these are basically powder packets that you can throw on the already hot fries. So yeah, so that's what it is, McShakers. So they come in, I guess they come in like something that probably like a plate.
Yeah, it's like the McSalad shaker, but exactly. It just gives you a pack of dust.
I was gonna say it was like the thing that Superman stands in the Fortress of Solitude, and then you just shake them up. Just sprinkle the seasoning into. Oh, it's a bag. Yeah, so inspired by the classic churro, just sprinkle the seasoning into a bag, give it a good shake, and dive in. No,
I don't want cinnamon dessert fries. I'm sorry.
Yeah, masala sounds good though. Yeah,
it does sound good.
So think warm aromatic spices like cinnamon, cardamom, cumin, and cayenne, mingling with the savory goodness of garlic and curry and flavored spices. So yeah, I mean, let's do that. Let's get more of international flavors into our garbage monster food factory.
Yeah, I mean, sweet mesquite. I mean, there are all kinds of like shit. I mean, all kinds of flavor dustings.
Are you clipping your toenails or something? What's going on over there, buddy?
No, it's a little thumb device we got for our wedding photography.
Okay, and then last, and this is for you. This is I got this just for you. Wendy's is going to be selling a 50-piece bucket of chicken nuggets. So,
okay. Yeah, I don't know why more fast food restaurants with nugget products don't do. I mean, Chick-fil-A, you can get a platter, but it's like 200 nuggets.
So, Wendy's is coming to hit you up for a 50-piece bucket of nuggets for around $18. That's actually pretty fucking good. 50 nuggets. I mean, like 6 nuggets is never enough. I always feel 20 is too much. 50 is like a share bucket. But like,
sure.
You know,
I think 10 is good.
I think a dozen's probably where you want to be, but that's still a lot of fucking chicken nugget.
It is.
It's like eating maybe 3 chicken patties. By themselves when you don't have like the bread and all the stuff. But not every Wendy's location across the nation will have them. You can easily visit, so you might want to write this down right now, wendysnugparty.com.
wendysnugparty.com.
To track in real time the closest participating Wendy's locations serving up these nugget buckets. The best part is they're open to both spicy and crispy nugget fans.
Ooh, can I get like a half and half?
Maybe. It doesn't say anything about that, but if you want to be so difficult, good. Yes.
How difficult is that? Just give me 25 of each. Put them in the same bucket.
Again. They got to count twice.
Nah, they just do it by weight.
You think so?
No.
That would be smart.
would be smart.
That's it. So I'm going. I'm not going into more of their fucking propaganda. So there you go, everybody. Food news for the week.
I love food news.
I love food news. So, there you go, everybody. Yeah, I will be back next week with an interview. I'm interviewing someone next week before I have to do the actual episode. So that'll be cool. I got a couple interviews lined up for the next couple weeks, so that's going to be interesting. And yeah, Evan, tell them about your now half of a million episodes,
half 1,000,
something like that.
Yeah, go to ctb.show. You can find our podcast there. We've done a 500th episode. Super spectacular, roughly 2 hours of content, including a full-length interview with a guy who's opening a museum in Fells Point. It is focused on local archaeology. His name is Evan also. He's a very handsome man. You should follow him on Instagram. His moniker is Salvage Arc. Yeah, and I gotta say, you guys have been killing it. Like, I've been like listening in my car, trapped in my car in traffic, and giggling my ass off because you guys are charming and funny, and I appreciate it. Yeah, we try. So, as for my podcast that you're listening to right now, please rate and review us on any place that you get your podcasts, or you're listening to podcasts, or go to another place where you know they have podcasts and rate and review us. We really appreciate it. We don't pay for advertising and word of mouth, and just the little click where you just follow us on Spotify. Yeah, just a little click,
or a 5-star review on iTunes, which is still around for some reason and has all the sway still. It means a lot, and an actual review makes a giant difference. And besides that, just tell your friends and tell your family and anybody that cooks or likes goofy shit about food. We really appreciate it. And for that, I will see you next week on the Rude Cooking School podcast. And my name is John Hauser III. Don't yuck my yum.
And absolutely, still, don't get botulism.
Yeah, try not. It sounds bad. Try not to get botulism. So, see you guys. Peace.
Goodbye.
All right, man.